A lot of people across the United States have filed UCC-1 financing statements. It's in the millions. It's the thing to do. People are realizing it, and they're trying to exit the matrix. You need to do it too. Everybody needs to do it. After filing your UCC-1 financing statement, it becomes evidence of a security interest. In the debtor fiction, the aka straw man, ens legis, whom the Internal Revenue Service uses to force, intimidate, threaten, and compel the real flesh and blood man or woman to pay what are called taxes, under the Uniform Commercial Code of Financing statement is used under Article 9 to reflect a public record that there is a security interest or claim to the property and goods in question, to secure a debt or interest. The financing statement is filed by the security holder, the real man or woman, with the Secretary of State or similar public body, depending where you're located at in the world, and as a result becomes public record and becomes evidence of title. As a party in control of the debtor fiction or straw man, you become the secured party with all rights, interest, and title in the debtor fiction's birth certificate, social security account, driver's license, automobile certificates of title, credit cards, loans, property taxes, etc. Now keep in mind that every contract consists of both an offer and acceptance. In every contract there is an offerer and an acceptor, the offerer being the tail and the acceptor being the head. Under contract law, title to whatever is offered transfers instantaneously upon acceptance, not upon payment like many seem to think. Payment, a consideration, is merely incidental. Attorneys and lawyers who write every contract used by corporations, including government corporations, know that the acceptor of the contract is in charge, or what is known as the holder in due course. Holder in due course is defined as title holder of the contract. So once the flesh and blood sentient man or woman has filed a UCC-1 financing statement supported with security agreement in place, taking all rights, title, and interest in the all-capital lettered fiction artificial person, that very so-called name may be spelled with a first name, middle initial, and a last name, or straw man, woman, when a person, agency, or other public or private corporation submits a letter, bill, or form suggesting that you, when it's really the fiction, is being charged with a debt, taxes, or whatever. A personalized letter is sent to the person who signed the letter or form, or to a person responsible for the letter or form or bill being sent to the fiction. That letter explains that you, the real deal, accept a charge for value. This basically tells them that you hold the title to the fiction. And anything connected to the fiction, it gives them notice that they have committed a trespass against your property, your rights. It sets in stone that you're the holder in due course. And as you'll hear me say time and again, I tell people that I work with on a regular basis, you have to file the UCC-1 before you try to accept things for value. Yes, you may have some success, because we are naturally the holder in due course, but without the public notice, they can fight it, and they can give you a lot of problems. At the end of the day, you have to prove you have title. It would be no different than if you own the deed to a house or a lodial title to a property. If there comes a point to be able to, where you need to prove it, you have to be able to prove that you have the title. You're perfecting the title by doing the UCC-1. If you're not able to send the UCC-1 financing statement with your CAFVs, they are not going to honor it because they're going to know that you're not really a secured party creditor. When you're sending your letters, notices of default and all those things, if you haven't sent them an original copy, a certified copy of the original UCC-1 financing statement, they're going to know you're not a secured party, and they're not going to honor what you were saying and what you were in the contract that you're trying to enter into with them, which is the discharge of your straw man's debt. In every contract, there must be an offer, acceptance, and a consideration. Corporations specialize in tactics to protect themselves in every contractual arrangement, such as when you see a home you like, the real estate agency may have offered the home for sale through various advertisements. This is an offer. You look at the home, you like it, and the price is right. You tell the real estate agent, yes, I'll take it. At that point, you have become the acceptor of the contract, and of course, the home and price is the consideration. From a legal standpoint, this contract is completed. The offer, acceptance, and consideration are completed right then. The acceptor is the one in charge. That, at the moment, could be you. Then comes the bait and switch. Now is when the bait and switch goes down, and the real estate agent, unwittingly, as though ignorance of the law is any excuse or defense against it, requires you to fill out a form in which you make an offer, and they, the seller, becomes the acceptor. The bait and switch is complete. It's that simple. You have now voluntarily became a debtor forever, even if you paid cash for the place or later pay off the mortgage. Why? Why can't you really pay it off? Well, you can't extinguish debts with a debt instrument. Federal Reserve notes are debt instruments. You've voluntarily made someone else the holder in due course of your property. They accepted the instrument, contract for value. They now own the property. All parts of the contract, including the deed, are now recorded in the property records. Look at your deed. It will have the fictions written in all capital letters. All we really do is add to the so-called national debt whenever you pay those taxes and make that counter offer. The debt, however, does not change and remains the same whenever you purchase anything in this manner. As an example, when you receive a notice of property taxes on your home, the taxing authority is really making you an offer. When you pay the taxes, you are making a counteroffer because your payment will not extinguish the debt or cancel it out. They will accept your counteroffer, but the debt will still be there. By the way, the notice of property tax due will be made out to your fiction debtor. Keep these things in mind when you purchase a home, land, a car, you open a bank account, apply for a license, and so forth. You must make the contract. You need to be the contractor. Secured party creditors write the contract. If you're not writing the contract, you're the debtor. You're accepting the offer. You're not making the offer. So I repeat, be the one to make the offer. You make the seller the offerer and yourself the real flesh and blood man with your name spelled correctly, the acceptor of the offer. This puts you officially in charge. You'll be the holder in due course. You keep the original contract and give the offerer a copy. Do not record the contract unless you want to give up the allodial title to the property. Recordings are not required as you are the sovereign and the original contract is all you need to prove and establish ownership. You will want to do a UCC 3 amendment filing and add the newly acquired property to your commercial affairs. After filing the UCC 1 financing statement, you may request and pay or discharge via money order for a certified copy of your UCC 1 financing statement. Though it's not absolutely necessary, the computer-printed acknowledgement copy of your UCC-1 is self-evident. It speaks for itself. Or the hard copy from a mail-in filing or hard copy pasted up from your computer filing. You're now the holder in due course of the property known as the debtor strawman. The property, collateral, and any contracts, implied or otherwise, associated with your debtor. You now have effectively filed security interest in the same thing. In respect to the presentment or offer, you can draft a letter stating, quote, I am the holder in due course, unquote. Then, because you have become the acceptor of the presentment offer, guess who's in charge? You're in charge and the offer has been noticed of your status. Keep in mind, as the secured party creditor, it is your duty and responsibility to accept for value and discharge the debt liability of your debtor via the presentments that come in. In the commercial venue, all transactions take place with your debtor and you're the creditor. So accept it and discharge it. Everything can be added to your security agreement. Establish the trust. All of these titles and documents and instruments need to go onto the same security agreement as an amendment as they come along. The security agreement carries a full functional fidelity bond and indemnity clause, and the collateral covered is extensive. Learn how to use and file your UCC-1 form and your UCC-3s, the acceptance for value process. Keep an exact record of color copies of your documents. Again, I say 4 originals. Proof of service, post office green cards, mail receipts, firm mailing book page in a binder with all documents, those protected plastic sheets. This is really imperative to keep your record exact and at your fingertips at all times. Keep everything organized, not sloppy, professional. So, with that, I'll end this, and I'll say stay tuned, stay sovereign, and do not consent.